This is something I wrote when I was talking to someone about writing some browser-based UIs. The upstream data server is an OpcUa server. The pages are served to the browser by a separate web server from the gateway that passes data from the OpcUa server to the loaded web pages. I'll just show you a couple simple pages that I wrote that are getting data from an upstream OpcUa server. So the first examples, at the top of the page, the number that's just changing random, it's just a number between 0 and 1,000, and it changes at a random interval of 0 to 2.5 seconds. The image below that that's just toggling back and forth is a read-only tag, and it just toggles on every 3 seconds. The next image is writable, and by clicking on it, the server changes the value of it. And we can see that all these tags are coming from an OpcUa server. If I open up UA Expert, let's look at example, this my bool is going back and forth, true and false, at the same rate as the 1-0 images on the page. And we can see if we change this string to hello, it also changed in the server. This page just shows some displays of a couple simulated levels that are on an OpcUa server. The top one just shows a single liquid. The second one shows 2 non-mixing liquids like oil and water. We can change the speed of the simulation by changing this number here. Again, we can see that it's coming from an OpcUa server by using UA Expert. This number here is the source for the first level display. This one I've also made a display on VT-SCADA. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get VT-SCADA to connect to the server that I wrote, so it's actually run through an instance of KEP server. So the gauge is displaying the first level, and then we got 2 stacked levels that display the oil and water. And we can use this knob to change the speed. I also made a bit of a simulation of some brewery equipment. All these valves and pumps and heaters are clickable to toggle. So if I want to fill up my hot liquor tank, just open the valve at the top, wait for it to get to at least 100 liters, and I can turn the heater on. I can transfer that to my mash tank. And when one tank gets empty, the valves and pumps that are pumping out of it will close. Add some more water to this. And turn the heater on. The mash tank doesn't include a heater, but I did include a heat exchanger from the hot liquor tank. So once that's higher temperature, I can pump through that heat exchanger and my mash tun will begin to warm up. That can be pumped out into the boil kettle. And again, we can start heating it with the heater. And in this case, it allows it to go all the way to 100 degrees. But once it gets past 100 degrees, it starts boiling off. So once everything's pumped out of this tank, you'll see the boil off. That's extremely fast, but and you can see on the right hand side all of the values. And then once that's done, I've included another heat exchanger. We can cool this off. And then transfer it into one of the fermenters. I also included some other views of just the brewery equipment, the different tanks, a view of the fermenters, a view of each individual fermenter, where you can see the dump and the rack valves. The point of this exercise was to create a gateway between an OpcUa server and web pages. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this of interest.